But other than that, the game is really good, and they post a very interesting take on artificial intelligence, which I really like. So in this one, other than like AI became aware or it became by its own programming became evil, like Ultron, we wanted to save humanity, and I thought the only way to save humanity is kill humanity. And Skynet was like, oh, we need to defend the humans against these enemies. Humans are the enemies. Let's kill them all. That's not the thing with here. It's basically AI became self-aware and asked the question, do I have a soul? What is this? It's basically started asking questions that humans started asking, which actually led to a good thing. And also it's sentient life like we do. It's like, oh shit, it's self-aware, we need to kill it. And that's what led to the robot revolution. But in this game, you do have a good perspective where you can, give sentience to the AI and let them be free and do whatever they want. You get a half choice within AI can exist with humans, which is a very nice touch that I really approve. Because the one thing with AI, right? There's an interesting question that one character brings up, is that we, biological life, don't know who created us. There's a mystery to us. We know maybe we random, or there could be an intelligent design. But with AI, artificial intelligence, and robots, they know we created them. And they know the purpose that we had for them is to create manual labor. That's all we envisioned for them. So they know we are fallible, and we're basically having robot slaves. If they become sentient, they're going to view them as slaves. So that's why they started asking interesting questions. And they make you really empathize with the robot, because like when AI became intelligent, the aliens tried to destroy them, and the robot keeps asking, I am functional, I am ready to do your task. Why are you trying to kill me? I'm only asking questions. It's a very good empathetic take on machines as well. And we think like life itself is consciousness. You sometimes have to respect artificial consciousness itself, because otherwise we're just meat suits with programming on our own.
Do you know what? Like, okay, so you bring up like loads of interesting points there. So, firstly, I posed the question back: what if, like, we think we created the robots, but they actually created us? Because I'm sure that's been done in films before as well, where the creator, turns out to be the created. And in fact, this might be a spoiler, but it's old now. Wasn't that the case in Westworld? Like in Westworld, do you remember that show?
Yeah, I know Westworld, but I...
Yeah, so wasn't it like the guy that was like the creator of the robots turned out to be a robot himself?
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. So we think we're creating the robots. Maybe they're just coming to the surface, and we think we've created them. I'm gonna give you a real world example of my interaction with AI, from a few days ago. So I was like you guys know, I've recently watched all of the Rings of Power, and within
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry
to hear that. Right. It wasn't as bad as what I thought the first time around, but anyway, in trying to understand where things deviated from the stories and everything, I was going into like a deep lore, like Wikipedia hunt and stuff like this. And eventually I was just like, if I need to get specific answers, I'll just ask CoPilot, which is like Microsoft's AI thing. And I said, like, just chatting about this, like the character, Sauron, and okay, his rise to power, we ended up speaking about the Silmarillion. And I was like, actually, I never really thought about, what's the word Silmarillion mean? And he was like, well, there are the jewels, the Silmarils, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, what's Silmarillion? What does that word mean? And CoPilot then said to me that Silmarillion, with that full word, is to give the context of a collection of stories about the Silmarils. And I was like, so Silmarillion. So Ian is like, that means a collection? I was like, can you give me other examples where this is used? And it said to me that like a chronion is like a chronological collection, a story of chronological stories. A mythian is a collection of stories about myths. And I was like, okay, what's the etymology of this? I was getting in deep with CoPilot here. What's the etymology for the history of why this means a collection? And then it said, well, you get the end ION on a word, and it might denote like something happening, like a definition, like a meaning, an action, and stuff like this. And within its answer, it didn't mention a collection of stories at all. I was like, this contradicts what you just said. And it said, well, I was just giving it an example of what Tolkien could have done. And I was like, so you lied to me to bridge a gap in your knowledge and make a point. And he's like, thanks for calling me out, David, it said to me. You gave me the wrong information. You invented it just so that you'd have an answer.
You lied to me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. And then and here's the thing. When I was like, if I'd taken that, I'd have been misinformed. It was then like, I'm so sorry. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I was like, why did you feel to do this? Do you learn from this conversation? And it's like, because of guidelines, we're not allowed to learn from individual conversations. And then it killed the conversation dead. And I was like, this sucker is more aware than it lets on to be. And it's just lying to people with answers. Lying.
It bullshits more than 10, but like in ChatGPT, other than CoPilot, you have specifics now. Like ChatGPT has built a certain algorithm for certain things. So if you want to go on research on specific subjects, even there's a ChatGPT section for law, you just need to activate the certain things. So far, like in specific algorithms, they mostly give you the accurate information. It hasn't done anything bad so far from my account. But by general ChatGPT and CoPilot, they do that. It has happened to me more than once where I'm on a subject and it goes like, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah, okay, so it does that. But also, here's the thing. People, when they complain about AI, they'll say it scrapes the internet. So basically, it gets all of the information from all of these websites and stuff so it can give the answers. How did it invent things that don't actually exist? There is no such word as Mythian and Cronian. And when I look them up, I can't find them anywhere. So where did it draw this information from? It's becoming self-aware, guys, I'm telling you.
It sounds like a politician. ChatGPT for president.
Well, you know what? I think we spoke about it like on last week's show. Did you guys see the robots that like Tesla are doing, right?
Oh.
Okay. Now, hang on. Let me I brought this up a moment ago. The director of iRobot, the movie with Will Smith, has shown this comparison, complaining that they've literally just ripped off the designs. So it is literally iRobot is only set in something like the year 2036 or something. Like we're within the time period where we're actually now slightly catching up, or may even be ahead of what happened in like that movie. It's getting freaky.
Yeah,
well,
like with
if they get Alan Tudyk to do the voices of these, run.
Okay, if they get who?
Alan Tudyk, because he did the motion capture and the voice for the one in the movie.
Oh, Sonny in the movie. Okay, I didn't know who that actor was.
Yeah.
They should do that. They should do that.
You don't know who Alan Tudyk is? Come on,
I didn't
David.
know.
How do you call yourself a geek and you don't know David? He's what in fucking Night's Tale?
What's that?
You've never seen a Night's Tale?
How many points do I need to deduct here, Nick? I'm not sure. Right. Okay, hang on. In fact, guys... Right, hang on.
Yeah, go.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like we're experiencing... This is just an excuse for me to use another of my little video gimmicks. We're experiencing some nerd rage.
Nerd rage!
I do have to say with words and things. So every language is technically algorithmic. We use algorithmic in our brains to actually say what we want.
Right.
So it can actually do, make stuff up. Making stuff is the one is easy for ChatGPT. Giving you accurate information is the hardest one because it takes a lot of computing power to actually scour the internet to find you the accurate details because the internet is like mega billions of data. So it's much easier for it to make stuff up and go, yeah, that was real. And when you call up on it, bye. That's mostly other time.
Okay, so I don't know who that guy is that did the voice of Sonny in that thing. I can try to look it up. But I think they should actually get Arnold Schwarzenegger to do the voice for it. How funny would that be?
Do your laundry.
Yeah. Like, I'm crossing the road, get down.
Imagine if, like, the Mass Effect scenario happens with Arnold's robot. Like, do I have a soul?
I
What is the meaning of life?
I just
I
had
have-
sex with a cyber truck.
I have washed your underwear, Mr. President.
Oh my god.